Hi, Abraham.
We are.
I know. About 5 years ago, I was listening to an Oprah show, and a man was talking about the law of attraction. And I went and got the Abraham book. And it was the best thing that ever happened to me. I couldn't get enough of it. And then the wheels on my life started to come off. And I had to have this major surgery to my neck. My husband at the time asked me to take my children and leave. And then I wound up in a rehab for alcoholism. But since then, it's been the most incredible journey ever. And Abraham was with me the whole way through.
So are you saying that, sort of like we were talking to our sweet mother who was talking about her sweet 5-year-old, that sometimes, even though you're asking with great desire, that it takes a little while for answers to settle in a way that you can process them and really know that you've got control of your own experience?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It was really reassuring when I heard you tell the story about the ship going through the locks. And I found that so relatable that it's been a slow, sweet, wonderful process. A quantum leap to where I was 4 years ago would have been too much. I just enjoy it so much. So I've learned so many things. I meditate. I do the process that you talk about, being aware that non-physical energy is focused on me. And
do you realize the perfection of the message that is happening today and your readiness to receive it fully and what that means to what's coming next for you? In other words, can you feel how everything that we've been saying today, which is really, really right out there on the leading edge, that you're feeling such deep resonance with it because you're ready for this new understanding?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm understanding what you mean when you talk about getting out in front of the process. And I'm learning...
Getting out ahead of the manifestation. Right. Because if you're not ahead of the manifestation dominates your vibration and the momentum just keeps being like it is. But you have the ability to get ahead of the manifestation and then lead the manifestation rather than the manifestation leading you. That's what this whole discussion has been about today.
Yeah. So, and learning how to relax. I just am loving that. And I was listening the other day, and I've heard you say it before, that my inner being is living the relationship of my dreams. And I thought, I paused and I thought, so my inner being is having sex with this man and I'm not at the party?
Well, that's one way of telling the story. Your inner being is already here's the way to say it. Your inner being is already out ahead of the manifestation. But okay. So what did that statement do to you relative to it? Did it put you out there ahead, or did it amplify where you stand in relationship to this relationship that you want?
It amplified it.
Yeah. So say something different.
It's happening, I believe. I get there's a part of me, it's sort of like the gentleman that was talking earlier about almost being afraid of how wonderful I believe something will be.
Well, you can feel inner pressure when you get yourself in that place. And that's when you want to change the subject. Okay. Because if you believe, and we can feel that you're close to knowing this, knowing it on some subjects better than others. But if you really accept that asking is step one and that it's done, and that answering is step two and that it is done, and that your work really is to have open pipes, and that your odds of having an open pipe on a subject that you haven't been beating to death are better than staying on a subject that you've really been caring, because the subjects that you care about, you've been thinking about, and you've established momentum that isn't serving you. And that momentum has got to subside, and it's not going to subside as long as you keep beating the drum of that. Does that make sense to you?
Absolutely.
When you keep asking the same question, your question can develop, let's say this. A repeated question to which you have not seen movement continues momentum that slows the response you want. It's like some questions just hold you on this disc, and some questions hold you on this disc. But what about a question that frees you to this disc, you see? That's what we're encouraging. And when it's something that you've been wanting for a long time, and you keep thinking about it, and every time you think about it, you sort of walk through the same trenches, and you sort of develop the same feeling about it. Can't you feel how that repeated behavior is not serving you? And doesn't it make you want to lay new pipes by getting off that subject altogether? You see, what's tripping you up, and it trips a lot of people up, you keep thinking that if you can ask with enough clarity and enough justification and rationalization, if you can just convince the universe of your worthiness, that finally the universe is going to give in like your mother sometimes did and give you what you want. We want you to know that when you coax like that, you are perpetuating the very momentum that is clogging the pipes. So you might as well just get off of it and start looking for the evidence of all of the things that are working out for you. And you went down a list of it with us. We know that you're good at that. We know you are. How'd you like that? That was clarifying, isn't it? Yeah.